Hi, this is Dr. Saab. This video is part 3. Check out part 2 and 1 by clicking on the link below. In this video, I am going to show you some tips and tricks of what the new C-Class can do. This video may also be relevant to other models, so I hope it helps you too. This video is perfect if you've just bought the new C-Class saloon or estate, or if you're thinking about buying one. If you want to watch and learn how to use the main features of the C-Class, then check out the link below. Big thank you to Lucas Mercedes-Benz Wolverhampton for making this video possible. So the instrument cluster, at the moment I've got my speedometer set. I can also display different things in the instrument cluster. But you might notice you've got your miles per hour here. You've also got the miles per hour here. But here you've got kilometers. Now legally, you need to have that displayed. That can't be changed. If you are driving in Europe and you don't want to display miles per hour on here, because they mainly use kilometers an hour, what you need to do is go to settings, go to system, go to display and display messages, and then from miles change it to kilometers. As soon as you do this, it's now set to kilometers, and you'll see legally you do need to display the miles per hour, so it's just there for you. And then to revert it back, just select miles, and now the instrument cluster is showing mph, and you got your kilometers just there. Very cool, very useful, because when we're out driving in the UK, we don't really need kilometers here. Okay, next I'm going to show you, when you're selecting the reverse, how the passenger side mirror will dip. Now what I'll do, I'll select reverse. You got your reverse camera, and you'll see that hasn't dipped yet, but you'll see the light on the controls for the mirrors that's come on. Now if I select all the way down and set it to that height, that will now save that as the position. And if I engage drive and drive off, the mirror will go up. You can see it's gone up. If I select reverse now, the mirror will go down, which is exactly what I want. And you can always set the mirror when it's in reverse, and you just adjust it to whatever position you would like, so that next time the mirror will dip to a height that you actually want. And now it will save that position for next time. How cool is that? It's quite useful when you're going to park next to a curb. When the mirror dips like that, you'll be able to see the curb much more clearly. And if you've got 360 camera, that just helps a little bit more, because what you can do on 360 camera, you can also see all around the car. So looking out for curbs is even easier. I love that feature. Now moving on to the top, I'm just going to show you what this means, the passenger airbag off. Currently there's no one sat in the passenger seat. Now you can see that the passenger airbag is off, but when I move to the passenger seat, watch what happens to the light. The passenger airbag is on because now there's someone sat in the passenger seat. Now I'm going to show you what these two switches do. In the event of an emergency, please press this switch. It will call the emergency services for you. The car has a built-in SIM card, and this is all free of charge. If you ever need the ambulance, the fire, the police, all you do is press that switch and it will call the emergency services. They will ask you what kind of help you need, and you can just tell them what you need. This system also works in the event of an accident. If the airbags ever went off, the system will automatically do the SOS system, and someone will try and speak to you, and if they can't get a response from you, they'll just send out everyone out to you. And that's all part of the emergency SOS system. How cool is that? Next, I'll show you this switch here. Now this switch is very useful in the event of a breakdown. If you were ever to break down, just press this switch and you can inform the person that's speaking to you that you've broken down and that you need a breakdown recovery. That could be anything from a puncture all the way from the car not working. You've also got this number here. You've got that on your door sill, and you can call them directly from your mobile phone. But if you don't have your mobile phone to hand, or if for some reason your phone's broken, you can just press that switch and you need a breakdown recovery. How cool is that? You get that for 30 years if you were to own the car for that long. But if it's brand new, you bought your car, you'll get it for 3 years as complimentary. And then the following years, as long as you get the car serviced by a Mercedes-Benz dealer, you will get 1 year extra worth of breakdown, up to 30 years. If you were to ever sell your car, then the new owner would get the same privileges. How cool is that? While I'm still on this screen, I just wanted to show you what audio fade out does. Now, I always leave these on because I think it's a very useful feature. What you can do, whatever music you're playing in the background, it will basically fade out when something is going to happen. So for example, audio fade out and transition position R. So when I select reverse gear, the music will basically just decrease. Again, any other kind of warnings, such as if I was going too close to the wall there, the same thing will happen again. The music will decrease. Another useful feature is changing the bass and the treble. What you can do, select that cog there, and you can adjust the bass, the middle, the treble. You can also adjust where you want the sound to come from, and if you want to reset everything, you can just press the reset button, which is quite useful. Once you've saved it, this will work the same whatever you play through Bluetooth as well, which is very useful. And again, if you're playing something through Bluetooth and you change the settings, it will then remember it for the radio as well. You can also connect a USB-C device or a USB using a dongle, and you can play MP4s onto the infotainment screen. So MP4s are like video files. That's quite a useful feature. I would recommend try not to play anything that's full HD and not big files. I'd recommend maybe a FAT32, the USB device you use. Another thing to know, if you ever see this SOS not ready, don't worry, that message is perfectly fine. When you start the car, that message will go away. When you switch the car off, it will appear again. It's perfectly normal. All it means is that the SOS function won't work when the car switched off. But when the car switched on, you'll be able to use the SOS function. Now, you might see this little star. That basically means these are your access to your favorites tab. And here you can see currently these are all the favorites set, including the work address. But if I want to add any other favorites, I can choose whatever I like, really. And you can see here what's starred. So at the moment that's currently saved as a favorite, but user profiles isn't. So that's been added now to the favorites, which is quite cool. You can access it quite quickly. If you want to rearrange these, you can by just holding down and just moving it. Very similar to your phone. Once you're set, tap, and that's it. That's saved in that position. If you want to remove something, so let's say I wanted to remove this, just select delete and it's deleted as a favorite. Or you could just use the Hey Mercedes function rather than tapping the screen. Another great feature is these tiles can be moved just like on your mobile phone. You might not want your phone there, you might want something else, so move it to here, and you might want the media there. If you don't want it in that position, you could move it all the way there. How cool is that? You can also just tap it like that if you don't want to just hold it down like the way I was doing it. Whatever your preference, MBUX has you covered. Now when you go into service, you'll notice the tyre pressures are in kPa, but we use PSI. So you can't change it on the instrument cluster, but if you check the fuel filler cap, you have PSI here. Another way of doing it is using the Mercedes Me app. On the Mercedes Me app, you can change kPa to PSI, which is a bit of a workaround. Thank you for watching. Please share, subscribe, comment if you've got any suggestions for future videos.